And welcome to Court TV. I'm Ted Rollins. As the investigation into her missing kids continues, cult mom Lauries Vallow was transported in handcuffs yesterday from Hawaii. This afternoon, she's scheduled to be in front of a judge to face charges of child endangerment. Here to discuss with me, live from Idaho, is KNXV reporter Claudia Rupcich. Claudia, glad to see you. Thank you for joining us. First off, what are we expecting today?
Well, as you know, an initial court appearance is usually really fast. She'll be arraigned. She will be read her charges. Her lawyer will be there. We know that she has 3 attorneys out of Boise, Idaho, and they will ask for a bond reduction. Right now, that's set at $5 million. So they'll be asking the judge to get that reduced. We don't expect much coming out from her, though, of course, that's what everyone is hoping, that maybe magically she'll say something that will help us get just another clue to where these kids are, because at the end of the day, that's what everyone here is talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. The FBI released some more images of the kids at the Yellowstone National Park. What are they hoping to get out of that? What are they asking the public for?
You know, and a lot of people are asking why it took so long to get those pictures out, because police knew months ago, actually, that Tylee was last seen at Yellowstone National Park. So one of those pictures is the last record they have of Tylee at all before she pretty much vanished. So they have a picture of her. It shows Tylee, it shows Laurie and Laurie's brother, Alex Cox, who is dead. And they're hoping anyone who was there at the park, who took pictures or videos, or maybe have people in the background, they want the public to send those pictures in. They even created a website where you can upload videos, even documents, anything that could help them in the investigation to the disappearance. Though we know that JJ was last seen a few weeks later at school here in Rexburg.
There's a lot of talk about Chad Daybell and Lauries Vallow, that they are predicting the end of the world, that they have, you know, these strange beliefs, and that he's some sort of cult leader. Is this a two-person cult, or are there other people that are followers of you, or if you will, of Chad Daybell?
Yeah, that is another big interest in this, and it's not just 2 of them. We've heard that, I mean, these are all members of the LDS community, but we speak to Mormons who say this is not normal Mormon doctrine. These are people who started with doctrine and just went way extreme. So there are groups of people who believe in these kinds of things. I mean, all Mormons believe that in the second coming of Jesus Christ. Now, they believe that they have some role in that, and that's the part that doesn't really match up with Mormon doctrine. And so we are getting to feel that it's not just them, but exactly what they believe and what their role is, and if that has anything to do with the disappearance of the kids, that's the big question.
Yeah, and there's obviously been no sign of these kids since September of last year. Give us a sense of how this story has exploded. I mean, it's nationwide, but in this community and in the communities where these other suspicious deaths took place, give us a sense of how it's affecting the community.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're from Phoenix, Arizona, and one of these suspicious deaths, 2 of them actually related to Lauries Vallow, happened in Gilbert, just outside. So Laurie's ex-husband, Charles Vallow, was shot and killed by Laurie's brother, Alex Cox, and then Alex Cox died, and his death is under investigation. We're waiting for the autopsy results there. Then we have the death of Tammy Daybell, Chad's wife, who died just north of here in a small town called Salem, and her death is under investigation. So these are, I mean, Gilbert is pretty big, Phoenix is a big area, but this is a very small community, and so everyone knew the Daybells in Salem. She used to work at a school nearby, so they were torn. They were really heartbroken when she died, and now finding out about Chad and Laurie and just how big the picture is, that's what's gotten everyone so confused, and why it's so compelling, because it's not just your one community. This stretches just so beyond what anyone could imagine, and it's why it's so convoluted, very intriguing, but also pretty scary.
Yeah, it's sad. We've got 2 kids that are still missing. I know you've done some reporting on Alex Cox and his death, and now it seems so mysterious. At the time, though, was it ruled that Alex killed Laurie's husband in self-defense, and then he ended up dead? Give us a sort of a what happened with all of that.
Yeah, so these are 2 different police departments. Charles Vallow was shot and killed by Alex Cox. Alex Cox said he did that in self-defense because Charles was coming at him with a bat. But that investigation is still open. Chandler police are still looking at all the evidence, and what they told me, I've spoken to them, they said it's really difficult because obviously Charles is dead. Alex, the suspect, is dead. Tylee is nowhere to be found because she was there on the property, and Laurie, who was also there on the property, is in custody. So their ideal situation would be for them to come up here and speak to Laurie and ask her some more questions. We have a police video that shows Laurie was there. She talked to police, but at the time, they just thought it was self-defense. They were looking into it, and then all of these other things happened. And then in a different jurisdiction in Gilbert, Arizona, just not too far away, Alex Cox is found dead in a home, and that still has not been ruled. We don't know why he died. So we're waiting for autopsy results. It's been a while. That was in December. So still a lot of open investigations. And the individual police departments are hoping that if the other police departments, including here in Rexburg, get something, it'll help their case out too.
What is the FBI's role? Do we know? Because the FBI is obviously involved here.
Yeah, the FBI has been involved. And, I spoke to a retired FBI agent who said the FBI is mainly just giving resources. They have not just psychologists, but people who know how to take all this evidence and process all of it and just give them tools to help them figure this stuff out. And obviously the FBI yesterday with the Rexburg Police Department released all these pictures. So they have the ability to take in all these videos and photos and use their resources that they've used in other missing children's case. So they've been involved from the very beginning. They have a command center here in Rexburg, so they're definitely here, but they try to stay out of the spotlight and don't really talk to media, so we don't have that much connection with the FBI.
Sure, and you touched on this earlier that Laurie has the answers. If they could get Laurie to talk, that all of this would be over. Talk about Laurie, and her family members said that this was a normal-ish person, like a regular mom just a year or two ago, and now to them she's become this other person.
It's so bizarre. We spoke to a woman whose daughter was best friends with Tylee in Gilbert. They became best friends in the 5th grade. They would hang out all the time, sleepovers. Laurie would take them on adventures. She was described as a fun, energetic, go-getter, great mom who loved her kids and would take them on adventures. They went to Hawaii all the time, as you know. So for the people who know Laurie, they say it's almost, it's unimaginable that she would have something to do with the kids. But then you speak to Kay Woodcock, who is JJ's grandma, and she says she saw signs of her sort of going down the deep end when she met Chad, when she and Charles were starting to go through a divorce, and she would disappear and start talking about the end of the world and her being a translated being who needed to help the 144,000. So a lot of this talk started coming about, and I think that's when the grandparents of JJ at least started thinking there's something off here, and that was just the beginning of this whole mess.
One of the things that really stands out to people is this surveillance video at a storage facility where it's clear that Laurie Vallow is coming in, and there's some males, and there's heavy totes. What do we know about that, and what is the speculation?
So most of that reporting was done by one of our friends here in East Idaho who got the surveillance video, and what we know is that there were several comings and goings from the storage unit, and inside that storage unit were Tylee and JJ's stuff. There were bikes, there were photo albums, family albums of both of the kids, and things that are pretty personal, toys and things that you might maybe put away for the winter and then take back out in the summer. So of course the hope was that, hey, maybe she was just storing them for the winter and she's gonna come back and get them, but she stopped paying for the storage unit, so there was it doesn't look like she had any plans to come back for these things. And of course we'd love to know what exactly was going on when they were pulling these heavy stuff in and out. And the speculation is that it was Alex Cox in that video.
Chad Daybell, over the weekend, told an ABC News producers that the kids are safe. They're fine. What's been the reaction to that? And is there any indication that now he is inserting himself into this case? Because this is a missing persons case. If he claims to have information, he should be questioned.
Right. I think at first people were like, I can't believe he said anything, because he's been trying to distance himself. I'm sure his lawyers are telling him to distance himself. He has his own lawyer now, not representing Laurie Vallow. And we saw he was at the courthouse yesterday, and is not giving any statements at all. But we've been out here. We went to Chad Daybell's home. We spoke to people who know him. No one wants to go on camera. But the overall feeling is there is no way he'd have anything to do with the missing kids. They think it's Laurie Vallow. But of course, they're wondering, why isn't he saying anything if he does know where the kids are? And him saying the kids are safe is an indication that he might know where they are. And so that's the biggest question. If all of this is because the kids are missing. So all we need to know is where they are, and all of this could be over. And for him as well, because his family is going through a lot here with the media and the attention and just all of this madness.
Yeah, madness indeed. Claudia, Rupcich, thank you. We will have that hearing this afternoon. It's scheduled for 4 p.m. Eastern. Laurie Vallow in court for what is expected to be a short hearing, but you never know with this case what will transpire. We'll have it for you live right here on Court TV.